Entrepreneurship is a series of failures until one day it isn't. Literally, that's all it is. It's just you fail, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, wait a minute. One of the things that I did worked.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Welcome, high-performing entrepreneurs and business owners. Do you suffer from shiny object syndrome? Do you often feel scattered and distracted, making it hard to implement your plan with all the ideas and strategies coming at you? Do you often wonder if you have the right goals and plan? Welcome to Extraordinary Focus with David Wood, where we help you achieve way more in less time. Get the laser focus you need so you can double your business, double your impact in the world, and be an even more extraordinary entrepreneur and human. Let's dive in and stay tuned at the end for your gift. Hey guys, David Wood from Focus.CEO with another episode of Extraordinary Focus. And I've got an exceptional man here with me. Tri Tran is a client of mine. He's in my samurai coaching program, and he's a pharmacist by day, but at night, he is up until 4 a.m. packaging his product, which just went viral. He's also a consultant to other e-commerce entrepreneurs. He's got a couple of great brands, and he's holding down a full-time job while doing all this. Tri Tran, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks Dave. Thanks for the intro.
And I wanted to get you on the show because I was already impressed with what you're up to. Like, you've got a full-time job. How many hours do you normally do at your job?
Yeah, 40 plus.
So 40 plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of your jobs recently was to roll out the vaccine, right? To Delta Airlines employees.
Exactly. So typically every year I immunize about 3,000 employees yearly. That's not even starting the new COVID one that's about to start. So I'll probably double that this year.
Yeah. So I think you got an interesting story just from the point of view that you've got a full-time job and you're running a business, and you're running it with someone you're quite close to. Is that right? There's a partner in the business. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So the partner I had was back then my girlfriend. So she's actually the person who started all this. I remember us sitting on the couch and she was like, hey, let's sell on Amazon. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Then a month or two goes by and then, yeah, sure. And then we finally got into it. And then now like we're basically fully invested and became a brand. And we started literally on the couch watching YouTube videos.
Wow.
That's how we started. Yeah.
And you've basically got two full-time jobs now. You've got the pharmacy thing. And then it really stood out to me when you said we're up till 4 a.m. now shipping orders. Because you've got a great success story here. You've been pushing. When did the first wins, before we get to this massive viral hit that's just happened, I want to tease our listeners a little bit, but what were some of the early wins that happened?
Yeah, I remember us first starting selling Amazon. And I think what everyone should start doing is test small. So we went to Walmart or something and we bought some hand wraps, some boxing hand wraps. And then we just listed it on Amazon. So I think they were like, we bought them for $5 and then we listed on Amazon for $15. And I remember it was our 1-year anniversary, me and my girlfriend back then. She's my fiance now.
That's right.
But yeah, I proposed to her. So I remember we were in New York City on vacation and all of a sudden I get a phone notification. I have it set where it goes ka-ching. And so it goes ka-ching. And then I was like, what's going on? And then I realized that we had just sold those same things that were listed in less than 24 hours. So that was like the game changer. That was like the first sale that we've ever had. And then I realized there's something here. Yeah, that was our first win, our first real big win.
Wow. And then tell us about what happened with Urban Outfitters.
Yeah, and after that, we launched a beauty brand first called Love and Pebble, and that's really focusing on skincare, and which my fiance is really big into. We basically just created a brand, started selling on Amazon, create a really good website, social media and all that. And then we were actually reached out by Urban Outfitters. At first we thought it was a joke. This is spam, this is not real. But then we realized it was actually the buyer from Urban Outfitters reaching out to us. And so we got in there, we started a relationship with them. I think it's almost been about 8 months now that we're selling strong, and they just signed us on for their spring line as well and summer. So we're just, pushing out products to them as well.
Wow. So they came to you?
Yeah. It was crazy. We were just like, this is not real. And then I was like, okay, it is real after we talked to them. So
that's amazing. How many entrepreneurs would be pushing, trying to get their products into some big names, and then you got Urban Outfitters. And I remember, I remember at one point you're like, are we ready for this? Wait a
Yeah.
minute. We're really new here. Should we say yes and hope everything works out? And I think you decided to go with a yes, right?
Yeah, we did. It's the e-commerce space is pretty easy. It's a lot easier, not as scary. But once you get into big boxing retailers and you have those relationships with them, it is a different game. So that's why we're nervous. But it's the
Yeah.
right move. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Could have flopped, right?
Yeah, could have flopped. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Wow. And then what happened one day when you started noticing you got a new brand called Dose and Remedy, right?
Correct.
So tell us about what that new brand is, and then what happened that really surprised you in a very good way.
Sorry, lost connection. Hey, so basically, what happened was launched Dose and Remedy as another brand, mainly because I'm a pharmacist, right? So I wanted to tie in my professional job with the e-commerce. At first, I launched a hangover supplement, and also Asian flush. So a little thing that happens with Asians is we get red.
Yeah.
And so I created a formulation. Yeah. After we drink,
I just got to say, I know when I was traveling the world, when I was 20, I'd be drinking with this Japanese guy and he'd have, I don't know, half a glass of beer and then just go bright red.
Bright red. And I spent about a year and a half just formulating that, right? Before we launched the brand. Because I knew I wanted to have a cure for it. So a remedy, that's why we call Dose and Remedy. So we launched that. It was doing super well, and then the pandemic hits, and then no one's going out, no one's buying it. So that was the first struggle with that brand. While I was launching that, I had always wanted to launch a immune support, and basically that's every year I give immunizations, and what people don't understand is half the reason why you get the immunity is not just the vaccine, it's your own body's immune system. So I wanted to find something that maximizes it.
Wow.
So I did all my research. I went back into the books, all the literature, and I came up with a formulation. And I launched it in the summertime. I was super excited. I had to go through so many trials to get it approved and everything. And I finally got it live, and then no one bought a single bottle. It was like it just broke my heart. Because I knew I had this really good formula based on all the studies I read, because there's no other formulation like this. So then it goes along and we have this bunch of inventory. I'm just like, how am I going to sell through all this? There is expiration dates on all my supplements. They're all formulated here in the US, in Atlanta, actually. And I don't know what to do. This is going to hurt me financially, right?
Yeah. It's brutal to launch something and just hear crickets. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And so then I was just like, okay, I'll just try to sell as much as I can whenever. Tried everything. We're doing wholesale. Anyone that comes through, hey, do you want to carry this in your store? We're just trying to sell it maybe at break even. And then it was like the week of Christmas, I just started seeing my sales just start like going up, and just 1 sale, 2 sale, 5 sales, 10 sales. And I'm like, what's going on with this? And it was my immune support. It just started selling through to the point where I think we sold through all of our stock at Amazon in a day or two. And then we'd send another bunch of inventory, and it'd sell in a day. Like in 24 hours, it would just sell.
You're having trouble keeping this on the shelves.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, what is going on? So we did some research. So apparently there's a lot of studies that actually were published, and a lot of people that came out saying that these 4 ingredients help lessen the severity of COVID.
So they're searching now on those.
And I looked at my formulation. Mine was the only one with those 4 ingredients.
Wow.
So based on the studies, and not only that, the 4 ingredients, but what's really important to me is the dosages. The same 4 ingredients, the exact same dosages that they all found in the studies, my product has. There's other ingredients with there's other products with ingredients, but not the dosages. So my product just went through the roof, to the point where, I know I showed you some pictures before, but we ran out. We had to fulfill it ourselves. Of course, all of our products are made at the facility, but packing it out, shipping it out is where had to do it manually. So it's been a blessing. It's on the rise even more now, but the best part of this is the feedback that I'm getting. So I'm getting like tons of emails. Thank you so much for making this. This is really helping me and my family. It's a rewarding feeling when you create something that helps people out.
Yeah. You got such a great success story to see it go viral, to see all this feedback. And I know you had one woman locally who said, I need it now. I can't wait for shipping. And you actually
Yeah,
drove it over to her.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she couldn't wait. And so I was just like, okay, she's local. We're based in Atlanta. So
I
I
love
just
that.
drove it over to her. Yeah.
And did you remember to film that drive? I bet you didn't.
I did not. I should
Yeah.
have. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I want to let's break it down so that we can all learn from this. One thing that you did is you took something you knew a lot about. So I love this backstory here that what you do day in, day out is you vaccinate people. Boom, there's the credibility. This is the guy on the front lines vaccinating people. The second thing you did is you did your research. You didn't just throw something together. You really studied it and you said, I think this is what people need, which set you up for when someone else released something saying about the same research and it blew up. You're the only one who's ready.
Right.
You're the one ready to catch the ball. So I love that. And then something else you did was creating these videos about the experience. I think is so clever. So you sent me a video of, which is a really clever thing you put on TikTok, of you with a production line, and you're like got all the things lined up and staying up to 4 o'clock setting it out, which then goes maybe even more viral, and people are like, oh, I got to get this stuff. He's having even trouble keeping this on the shelves. And then that may be a little bit of a lost opportunity going over there. But what a cool thing. Like, I'm driving over here right now. She wants it right now. And then with permission, if she did give the permission, like if this happens again, I imagine you'll film that and you'll put that on TikTok. Is there anything else that you feel like you did, any tips for our listeners that you did to set yourself up for this viral ride?
I think the main thing as an entrepreneur, you got to keep throwing things at the wall until one sticks. I think
Right.
like my favorite quote that maybe I even made up with this quote, but you probably helped me with this, Dave, too, is that entrepreneurship is a series of failures until one day it isn't. Literally, that's all it is. It's just you fail, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, wait a minute. One of the things that I did worked.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. I just said this on an interview I had before this. People see the success and they think, wow, that was really lucky. Or you must be amazing to have done that. They don't see the 999 other things that I did that went nowhere. If you law of large numbers, you try enough things. Now, one of the tricks is like, how do you know when you should just keep on being persistent with something or when to drop it and try something else? How deep do you go?
Yeah, that's the question for all entrepreneurs. I think the way I set everything up is I do have an exit strategy. So even though I had this inventory that wasn't selling before, I had a break even point where I could drop the price or, liquidate it somehow or just get out of this one venture. I think going into almost every kind of like a business or a product even, I have that kind of in mind. So I would start with that. But other than that, it literally is just throwing things at the wall. I think my SKUs now I have 9 SKUs, and one of them is just my inventory is tied up because it's not selling. It's terrible. It was the worst move ever. This other one's picking it up. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah. So it sounds like you need enough irons in the fire so that one will work, or enough hooks in the water so you do catch that one fish. I think I mentioned in the intro that you're a client. If I didn't, I'll have to go back and record it. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, how has coaching, if at all, helped in the journey? What are some of the things you've been facing trying to make this happen that you feel coaching has really supported you with?
I think it's focus. That's why it's focus.co, right? I mean, it really is. It's my biggest challenge is I have too many ideas. And I think this is one of the things that you said to do is just focus on one idea for how many months? It was like 12 months. So just focus on one thing. And that really has helped me explode even more because I turned down opportunities because as you become an entrepreneur, you think everything's an opportunity. And then a lot of them aren't, right? So I really have streamlined that and just really focused and really just put in my time and effort into the one thing. So I think that's the main thing that it's helped me with. And then also like the longevity of the focus. That's the hardest thing too, is like when you start out, you're so focused. You're like so energetic. You're like, yes, I can do this. This is
Right.
awesome. Then 1 month comes by, then 6 months, then 12 months, then 2 years. And then at 2 year mark, I'm like enthusiastic about it. I'm like, this is awesome, but I don't know. It's just like you lose that fire and that edge, and then you lose that focus. So it always goes back to focus and the drive, which you need because you're going to fail a lot of times. Like the worst thing that takes away focus and drive is failure. But you're going to have a lot of that failure.
Yeah. And you don't want to fail 10 times and then give up when the 11th time might be the one, right? That did it.
Exactly.
Tri, where can people find this immune support, particularly now while the pandemic's running rampant? How can they get a hold of this?
Yeah, so we sell on like Walmart.com, but we actually sold out that. Amazon is our last place that we have inventory left. We typically have it at Walmart.com, our Shopify store, or Amazon store. I'm sorry, our website, and then Amazon. So those are the three main platforms for now.
So if they go to Amazon, they're searching on Dose and Remedy. Is that right?
Yep. Dose and Remedy, or a dose of immunity. That's the name of the product.
Immunity. All right, great. And the big ingredient that's in there, I keep getting it wrong. I want to call it quercetin, and it's something else.
Yeah, no, it's quercetin, which is
quercetin.
That's the big player.
That's what you want.
That's what you want. It boosts zinc. It's also shown to stop entry of the virus into the cells. So that's the big thing. So it stops the entry of the virus into cells.
All right. Awesome. Dose of immunity. Find that on Amazon. And anything else any parting words of wisdom for entrepreneurs? And you've given us a lot already.
Just keep going. And I think like really knowing who you are, and don't be scared to like really have your brand show that, because that's how you can be authentic. And I think that's something that a lot of my customers and patients are finding from this brand, that, hey, this is you and I trust you. So that's the scariest thing to do, but you have to do it.
Yeah, that's good advice. And you've done a nice job with the TikTok videos putting a face on it, putting a human face. This is what's going on. This is who I am, so that they can trust you. Tri Tran, thanks for being on the show. You've been listening to Extraordinary Focus with David Wood. Now, to achieve way more in less time, to double your business and your impact in the world, and to be an even more extraordinary entrepreneur and human, make sure you get your gift basket. It includes a cheat sheet to double your focus, a short video to implement the steps, and a free focus audit to identify the #1 focus leak in your business and how to plug it. To get all three of these goodies, just go to myfocusgift.com. If you've gotten value out of this episode, tell your friends. And nothing says keep up the good work, David, like a review, which helps us climb in the rankings and reach more listeners. Now, let's be extraordinary.